Hey guys, HappyCattyCrypto here and welcome back to the channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. So I'm really getting to the point where I do support the 1.2% burn tax. And the reason why this is a lot of the validators on chain, I'm going to put this politely as I can without upsetting anybody or trying to look like I'm throwing anybody under the bridge. And I'm just being brutally honest here, is they're just not contributing to the blockchain as much as we would require them to. As validators, being part of the blockchain, being part of the ecosystem, normally you provide something, and if we go and look at other blockchains, their validator sets are very good. Each one has a very specific project or utility use case that is pushing, driving, or has adopted in other places and brought to that ecosystem. Having validators are, in essence, from my perspective, like a small economic alliance, and each one packs or should pack some unique kind of punch. So all of the different things that are going on at the moment, whether it's the TFL case and all of the news that's surrounding that, all of the different articles that are surrounding the tax to gas situation and the changes of gas in general and the burn tax in general, I think it's a good time to use and utilize this wind, this headwind, this big wave that's starting to form, because like I was saying, there's not a lot of people giving to the blockchain. And if we look at the burn tax and how it's adopted, Binance are really the only people that have adopted it. So externally, nobody's got the burn tax anyway. So we're already in a position, right, where I would say that there's no difference to a person saying, well, I'm going to get charged on chain if I commit to that transaction there, or if I commit to it off chain on a CX, I'm not going to be charged for it there. There's benefits to doing it on chain. There's huge benefits. I'm not going to go through it in this video, but there are huge benefits to doing it. So a lot of people will choose to do that. So I don't think it's going to be an issue if you do decide, right, for example, to raise the burn tax to 1.2%. It's not suddenly going to put people in a position where they're going to go, oh, I'm just simply not going to come in. I'm not going to do things on chain, because there's not a great deal going on chain. But when the 1.2% burn tax was there was a great deal going on chain. People were talking about it. People were buzzing about it. YouTubers were getting involved in it. And that's what this chain really needs. It needs people to be more involved, more excited, have more things to talk about. I will be talking about this tomorrow in the Twitter space at 8:30 p.m. UK time. So do feel free to check into that. I'll try to leave a link to it in the description of this video. Now, the 1.2% burn tax. Binance itself is definitely the biggest objective when it comes down to this. Projects, dApps, whatever, they can go through governance and they can have their say and sway, and they're through the native asset. Now, when it comes down to Binance, getting in communication with them is complex. We don't have a central authority at the top of this blockchain. So there's nobody for us to go, oh, can you go and contact Binance? Ed Kim used to play that role in a way which I liked and then also disliked because of a centralized body on a decentralized ecosystem. So what I would say is Binance has always adapted with everything that we've done, whether it's been positive or negative. They've always adapted to the situation. They're like water. They just flow with it. I can't see them stopping the burn. We know that for sure. So suggesting changing it's not going to upset them. Now, worst case scenario is the burn tax on chain gets put to 1.2% and they decide to themselves, well, we're not going to go to 1.2%. We're going to keep it at the current rate. That's still not a loss, because a lot of the validators that are just harvesting rewards on chain and milking the cow are not paying huge amounts to get that off chain, and they should. There should be some way that they're giving back to this blockchain and giving back to the community, because I see a lot of validators at the moment saying about these validators that are not really doing anything. Oh, I can't believe people are delegating with them. And I don't think people are delegating with them. I just think LUNC is so cheap now. It's easy for them to acquire it, add to their self stake, and then harvest the rewards. I need to do a video on it specifically without putting it into a negative light, kind of how these bigger validators operate and what they commit to lose to get out of the blockchain, and doing the maths behind it. They're really smart in the way that they go about doing these things. So in itself, we could use and utilize the tax to gas news, frags, changing of the distribution, handling of the different fees that we have. And we could use it in a very specific order. So I would I would definitely say frags, then the tax to gas, and then getting a 1.2% burn tax proposal up. And if it does pass, right, you're not only going to have people coming and looking at this 1.2% burn tax going back up, but they're also going to be talking about the tax to gas change, the distribution change, and about how much better it is, how it's more interoperable, how it's more acceptable, and it's fair all round. And it should lead, in theory, to more people wanting to get involved with the chain. And if we really do want to see more and more people get involved with the chain, I would say, and I'm working on a video for this, projects are very hard to develop. They're very hard to come up with something that you really want to push through. And we've got a few different projects, but they take time to build. My own project, it takes a lot of money and a lot of time, a lot of energy and a lot of effort. You need to put a lot into these things before they get to a point of where they're usable and they can become a utility on chain. A meme coin, anybody can spin up a meme coin on a really good idea, something funny, something that's an iconic meme, for example, like Pepe. All of these different coins have always started as absolutely nothing, but the ones that do bloom and blossom, they end up with a decent amount of funding and then they do go on to do something. So instead of being thrown into the deep end, they get the easy start. People are very interested in it. They're very good at what they're doing. They're handling things really well. Everything's on point. It starts to move up and then they've got more funding. And we need more of that on chain. And the reason why I say this is every little helps. We are a layer 1 chain and we can handle this. We have the infrastructure in a sense that the chain can handle that amount of transactions. There's a considerable amount of coins on chain. Fees are relatively cheap. But at the same time, it would start picking up the transactions. More transactions equates out into more burns. And hopefully, we would start to see more positive articles other than speaking about the burn tax and then saying the price is going to fall further. Because although I don't agree with these huge amounts that are burnt each month on the same day, on the same time, without fail, burning on the transactions far better because you've got inflow and you've got outflow instead of just having a big inflow and then a big outflow. Instead, you're having it done in drips and drabs, and it's far more effective from the data that you go around and you gather together and you take a good look into this. So I really do think it's time for us as a community to discuss these things. I'm definitely going to be bringing it up. There is a division in the community when it comes to burn tax. I'll be the first to come forward and admit it. But we should adapt. Crypto changes all of the time. NFTs were hot 2 years ago. And once again, I'll be the first to admit it. They were hot, but meme coins are hot right now. Burning is hot right now. We've got a substantial supply and it falls into our narrative to destroy that supply. And I just don't think we're doing enough of it. We could attract more YouTubers back in as well. And all round, it could be bullish. It's something for us to do. It's something for us to push towards. But let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you think about moving the burn tax back to 1.2%. Let me know what different areas you think that it would affect, because I myself have different metric systems. We've got our own wallet system. We've got the auto compounding. So it does affect me. I definitely come from a place where I would say it does affect me. But at the same time, I'm willing to make that commitment as somebody who's committed to this chain and wants to see the chain benefit more in the 6 months that are ahead. Because to me, it seems like Binance are doing something very peculiar behind the scenes. So once again, let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you think Binance would do. Do you think Binance would fall in line? Because originally, if you remember the tweets, CZ responded and he said 1.2% on chain first. So we have been down this road before. It was a chain decision to move it down to zero, I think 0.2%, and it went up to, I think, 0.5%. When I look back and I look very briefly at the historical information that's available of the time during the 1.2% burn tax and the time during this burn tax. It just seems like there's far too many benefits for everybody on chain as holders, and then all of the different validators as well. And it's time to give back. It's time to give back to the community, and all of the other different things. They're just not doing anything. And burning is something everybody understands. It's something everybody can get bullish about. It's something that excites people. And once again, we should use and utilize it. But let me know what you think. Lots of things to think about there. Lots of different questions I've thrown at you there. Don't forget to check out the space tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. Beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of anybody who pretends to be me. I'll catch you in the next one.